If it hadn't been for what happened here at Lake Tinn, central Norway, in February 1944, Germany might well have won the war. For it was here that Norwegian saboteurs blew up and sank a ferry boat loaded with heavy water, the vital element in the manufacture of the atomic bomb. In temperatures many degrees below zero, a film unit under director Anthony Mann, including some world-famous stars, have come to this historic lake to make the Heroes of Telemark. For the local people who in 1944 stood on the touchline of history without knowing it, it's a time for sad memories. For to help save the free world, many of them lost friends and families who traveled on the ferry, suspecting nothing. Yes, the guns have come back to Lake Tinn. German guns. And German soldiers too, although this time just Norwegians playing a game of make-believe, wearing the uniforms of their former oppressors. Actress Elvie Hale and actor Russell Waters appear in the film as husband and wife. Their real-life counterparts went down with the ferry, innocent yet unavoidable victims of the saboteurs. Actor Anton Diffring, who plays a German officer in the film. And newcomer Jennifer Hillary as one of the many Norwegians who were aboard the ferry when she sank. Swedish star Ulla Jacobsen, who co-stars with Kirk Douglas and Richard Harris. She talks with director Anthony Mann. Richard Harris, playing one of the two resistance men who lead first the raid on the factory where the heavy water is being made, and then the raid on the ferry boat, which is shipping it to Germany away from further sabotage attempts. Kirk Douglas as the scientist who is the first to learn of the Germans' experiments in atomics, and who then helps to lead the saboteurs against the Nazi occupation forces. All the actors working on this film will tell you that the truth of this epic of sabotage is inspiring them as few of their films have before. Just another illustration that so often truth is stranger than fiction. The sequence they're just about to film is where Douglas and Harris, having learned that the Germans intend to bring the heavy water containers down to the ferry by train, decide to get aboard the ferry beforehand and lay their time charges in her bows. To do this, they'll have to run the gamut of guns and heavily fortified sentry posts. But stealth and the quick strike have been their way of life for so long that the mission holds few terrors for them. Now the saboteurs get their instructions to take their positions above the ferry. From here, they'll make a dash down to the landing stage. Anthony Mann tells everyone to stand by for action, and it begins. few hours later now, and a different piece of action. The train, with its precious cargo of heavy water, moves onto the ferry. In the actual operation in 1944, everything that's duplicated in these shots, the train, the containers of heavy water, the German escort, and many of the civilians aboard the ferry, all sank to the bottom of the lake within minutes of the explosion. The ferry, the train, and the heavy water still lie there now. And so, with Captain Sorensen on the bridge, the same Captain Sorensen who took the doomed ferry out into the freezing waters of the lake on that fateful February day in 1944, the Hydro pulls away on her last voyage. For the technicians and stars working on the Heroes of Telemark, it's just another job. And for the Norwegians watching from vantage points all around the lake, it's a solemn moment as they see a stirring page in history being written for the second time.